Hello, good people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Still talking about Peter Obi, an event that took place yesterday. It was quite a heroic one and it was quite phenomenal. Phenomenal in the sense that Peter Obi was in attendance in Dunamis International Gospel Center, where Paul Enenje is the lead pastor. And there was a meeting that yesterday. They call it 2022 mid-year praise, which was tagged judgmental praise at the Glory Dome, Abuja. A lot of people, mostly politicians, were in attendance in that meeting. We also had ministers of the gospel in that meeting, and Peter Obi um, got a heroic welcome from all and sundry who were part of that meeting yesterday. It took the wife of Paul Enenche a long time for him to stop people from welcoming Peter Obi. They keep on screaming and shouting. She was saying it's okay. They were just shouting and all of that. The videos are everywhere right now. I can't bring it because of the issue of strike, Dunamis does not like people sharing their videos and all of that. So, but the thing is everywhere. But where it was quite touching was when it was time to pray for Nigeria. It was quite a touching moment for so many Nigerians, especially when Paul Enenche, who is the lead person of or the number one person in Dunamis, prayed for Nigeria, and also when Peter Obi was granted an opportunity also to pray for Nigeria. That was when everyone will now come to a point of realization that this whole thing, Nigerians all are tired of it. And I feel that this is not just a move to change leadership, is a move to rescue Nigeria from the hands of all politicians. Now, let me just give you a brief, and then we're going to be talking about a lot of things and what Nigerians are also saying about that morning, early hours of the morning of Saturday's event in Dunamis Church. Now, according to the news, the senior pastor of Dunamis International Gospel Center, Dr. Paul Enenche, in the early hours of Saturday, led some religious and political leaders in a prophetic action to rescue Nigeria from killers and their sponsor. Paul Enenche led a special prayer session for Nigeria during the 2022 mid-year praise tag judgmental praise at the Glory Dome, Abuja. The cleric was joined by Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel, the former governor of Anambra State and presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, the wife of Delta State Governor Edith Okowa, and Archbishop John Praise, who all cried to God to rescue Nigeria from her enemies. Speaking during the prayer, Paul Enenche prayed God to rescue Nigeria from bloodshed and killing. According to him, he said, Nigeria cannot go down. The agenda of hell cannot succeed over Nigeria. On his part, Peter Obi said, this is the only country we have. God, please deliver us and liberate us. In their short declaration from the altar, Governor Udom, Mrs. Okowa, and Archbishop John Praise declared that Nigeria is liberated from terrorism and bloodshed. The concert had in attendance top gospel artists such as Nathaniel Bassey, Frank Edward Bucci, Mercy Chinwo, Choma, Jesus Dosin Oyeka, Abraham Akatu, and a host of others. I mean, it was quite touching, especially when Peter Obi was given the privilege to pray. And, he was invited to the stage and he held the Nigerian flag, talking about Peter Obi, as Paul Enenche urged his members to pray for Nigeria. Mr. Peter Obi joined in the prayer as he knelt down. But one thing I noticed was that Dr. Paul Enenche put the microphone in his mouth, that's in the mouth of Peter Obi. And then Peter Obi said this word. He said, God, we have no other country except this one. God, deliver us in Jesus' name. God, see us. God, liberate us. We have no other nation except this one. Please liberate us. It was quite a touching one for most Nigerians as I watched that video, and I was touched in the sense that I could feel that it is time for God to take us out of the grip of this sucking guys who do not want to watch Nigeria be a country that we will once again be happy that we belong to this country. When to be Amusa won 100 meters hurdle, and I watched the video, and most of us that watched the video, a lot of people kept crying. She too was crying. To be was crying. I believe she wasn't just crying because she has won a laurel, but a country like Nigeria with top stars watching it nosedive the way it is going breaks the heart a great deal. And being that these things are happening and it seems we are helpless, I feel that it is time for everything to be corrected once and for all. And I'm so sure that all these abnormalities will be corrected. If not for anything, if you had watched the way they were welcoming Peter Obi, it was something that people begin to wonder, though there were a lot of castigations, and people say, excuse me, some people saying that today, is it not the same people who will not go and get their what do you call it, their PVCs and all of that? But I can assure you that the rate at which people are getting the PVC, it has never been like this. I can't remember far back in the other years that have passed, the people expressing interest in voting as it is right now. I think Nigerians have come to realize that these people who are in position of leadership are actually our employees. And if they are our employees, we should decide the people we employ. It can't be them again deciding for us. So I feel that with the spiritual atmosphere thus far, and with the physical agitations that we have seen also, things are going to change in Nigeria for good. Peter Obi was, when he was praying, I felt that he could understand the honors and the task ahead of him if he should take up the mantle of leadership as the president of Nigeria, and he understand the weight of expectation that that Nigerians have put on him, and I don't think that he will fail. Even if he cannot take us by sudden flight to the mountaintop from the Mary Clay, but I'm so certain that he will take us halfway from where we are currently, because where we are currently is so terrible in all respect. It's something we can't deny. And unfortunately, if you look at the politicians, other politicians, you notice that they just feel that Nigerians should be taken for granted. Imagine this issue of Muslim, and people are still saying things, that I look at them and I'm like, are you sure you're okay? Have you read the histories of other, countries of the world? Haven't you come to the realization that religion is an integral part of politics? When we talk about politics, you talk about ethnicity, you talk about rotation, power rotation, and all of that. They are integral part. You can't just divorce it out of the system and say, well, Muslim can go. It doesn't really matter and all of that. It does matter. So I feel that the cry I saw yesterday, this early hours of this morning, will change something a great deal. We'll just allow you to go to our comment section. What do you have to say about the prayers that was offered by all and sundry for the rescue of Nigeria? Please let's